Definitely not. He's doing his job. He's saying what he has to say. It does not reflect the actual situation on ground.
So how would you assess the administration the past 3 years?
Well, the administration of President Buhari has been below expectation, believing that there will be positive change in the polity and that the economy will improve and that Nigerians will have food on their table. But as we have it today, that is just the opposite of the whole thing, because Nigerians now find it difficult to have 3 square meals. They find it difficult to access health facilities. They find it difficult to do the normal things they're used to doing because everything has shot up. Prices of commodities have shot up, and doesn't seem like coming down.
So could the administration have done better, in your view?
Well, sure. The expectation of every Nigerian is that when you vote in an administration, they expect him to do better. But in this case, the reverse is the case.
Now, let's take a look at the opposition itself. Could it have been more proactive since the APC mounted leadership saddle in keeping it in check? You know, you've just highlighted a negative performance, as it were. You know, the opposition also have a moral right, a duty to also keep the APC on their toes. So were they successful? You're part of it as well.
Well, we became part of it a year ago. Okay, before, June 2017, we were not part of the opposition.
All right.
But as of June, when ADP was registered, we became part of the opposition. And we've been doing our best. Actually, we've been on social media, we've been on print media, we've been on, television, telling the government what it's supposed to do and what it's not supposed to do. But it appears everything is falling on deaf ears. And we have the feeling that the president is not ready to listen to Nigerians.
When you say he's not ready to listen, what specifically do you mean by that? Because he's approachable.
Well, of course, he's approachable, but he's bent on doing whatever he has, plans to do. For instance, people have been talking about these, the herdsmen, the killings going on. He doesn't appear to be concerned. He's not showing concern from all we can see from here. So,
in other words, just painted a very gloomy picture of his efforts so far in trying to curb the herdsmen attacks.
We have not seen the efforts at all. We have not seen the effort because this thing continues to happen on a daily basis, and we have not seen any, action as like we did when we have IPOB issue and some other issues that came up before then. They were frontally attacked, but this one is not been attacked.
All right. Now, interesting, you mentioned the fact that your party, ADP, only just has been on the scene for about a year now, but you find a tradition in Nigeria, and especially on the political sphere, where, political parties, you only hear about them, especially on the opposition, towards the elections. Why is it that way?
Well, I don't know.
Because right now, INEC has a total of not less than 68 registered political parties at the moment, and I can tell you, most Nigerians don't even know so many of them. So, it's towards the elections, we keep hearing, oh, this party and that party, just spring up with their own ideologies and everything, but at the end of the day...
You see, as far as ADP is concerned,
okay,
like I said earlier, we got registered just 6th of June, 2017.
Okay.
And since then, we've been mobilizing, we've been informing Nigerians, we've been doing everything in the books to see that Nigerians see a credible alternative in ADP, because Nigerians believe that the previous parties that have been in government have really disappointed the nation.
But realistically, Mr. Bolaji, you have a situation whereby you're barely a year old into this race.
Yes.
So what impact, what meaningful impact do you think you will have on the populace regarding, their quest to have you vote them in?
We are so happy at our situation now, because when we started a little over a year ago, we knew that Nigeria has to have an alternative to decide what happens to this country.
Okay.
So we went out, informing the people, educating them, especially the young ones, on the need for them to now come on board. You don't have to be a politician professionally, but you can participate in politics. We've been talking to technocrats, intelligent people, you know, we've been talking to educated people, people who are so to say, either to say they are in their comfort zones, people who are okay, so to say, in Nigeria, and we asked them to come out to join this crusade, this movement, to make sure Nigeria is restored back to its glory.
Very good. Now, in any form of democratic governance, you can't have just one party dictate affairs. Over time, we've seen scenarios whereby, you know, there's been more of a rabble-rousing situations whereby the main opposition party usually comes out with a pronouncement. The incumbent government isn't doing this, is not doing that. But, you know, there's not much in-depth, as it were. So would you say, you know, the opposition has been vibrant over time, excusing your just coming in over time regarding, you know, keeping, you know, the incumbent in check? What you hear, you know, has there been any form of constructive criticism, as it were?
Well, for the past 3 years, I wouldn't say there has been much criticism as it should be. And that is for the fact that the APC or the presidency, upon inception, did everything possible to silence the opposition then.
Why would you say silence? Why would the government want to silence the opposition? What would it gain by doing that?
Well, because, you know, I don't know whatever they want to gain, but that was their modus. That was what they planned to do, and they were achieving it. You could see what they were doing the PDP was the main opposition then. You could see what they were doing with the PDP chieftains, you know, Dr. C, Lisa Metu, name them. And that's...
But, you know, they wouldn't, if they didn't have some kind of evidence against them, I don't think anybody would just wake up and go after them.
We are going away from that area.
All right.
You see, because we have discovered, later on, we've discovered that it's been selective in whatever they are doing. Selective, going for PDP members alone. So why? You know, PDP has not been the only party or where you have members of the House of Assembly or House of Reps or governorship who have, you know, dipped their hands into the coffers of the nation.
Right.
No, but why? Even those so-called PDP members who formed APC, they were left alone. And we have seen situations whereby a PDP member, after being victimized or about to be victimized, will cross over to APC and is left alone. So that shows that they have a focus on PDP, on the opposition, to just silence it so that they will not...
All right, there has to be vibrancy in the form of opposition itself, and we're seeing subtle moves to that towards the elections. Now, in terms of moves towards coalitions, we're seeing alliances in that regard. So how would you rate that? What impact would it have on the electorate, making a choice?
Well, I think they are trying to assist the electorate. The electorate has been in a dilemma of where do we go? We are fed up with this. They've been there for 16 years. So
is the ADP also thinking of, you know, merging with another party, or, you know, let's have your thought on that.
Well, ADP is open to responsible and credible coalition. Okay. We don't just merge or ask for coalition just for asking. We are not desperate about going to an election to win. We're not but we want to win, but not too desperate as to not choose our bedmates.
All right, very good. Now, in terms of the government not doing much, as you claimed, what about the other institutions? We're talking about the legislature and judiciary. And, you know, you being a lawyer, that's your primary constituent as well. So would you say they've been proactive, especially towards, you know, the issue of corruption, anti-corruption stance? So in that regard, you know, how would you assess it?
I would say that...
Because the government can't do this alone. Let's be factual on that.
Yes. So. I would say that the judiciary has been up and doing, judiciary especially.
All right.
They've been up and doing. They've been doing their best. And you cannot really divorce the judiciary from legislature and the executive. They are interwoven, so to say. But the judiciary has been doing well. They've been doing well in terms of judgments being passed here and there. So despite the fact that the judiciary was about to be muzzled at a point in time,